Am I the asshole here for not telling my fiancé why I am sterile? So I'm a late 20s female, and my fiancé, early 30s male, let's call him Carlos, are still fighting about this, and it was already 2 weeks ago. When I was 21, I had a partial hysterectomy due to adenomyosis. It was very painful, and my doctor spent 2 years fighting for the approval because many people were against the idea. I don't mind losing my uterus because 1, it was very painful, and 2, I was always child-free. Even as a kid, I didn't like kids. I met Carlos 3 years ago. I told him on day 1 that I was child-free and completely sterile. He said he was child-free too, so we went ahead with the relationship. He proposed in September, and we started slowly planning the wedding. I never told him about the hysterectomy itself. I didn't hide it on purpose. It honestly just slipped my mind because I already told him that I could not get pregnant. My mum didn't know about the engagement because she was out of the country taking care of her elderly sister, and I wanted to tell her in person. She came back 3 weeks ago. After she rested for a week, we invited her to lunch so that we could tell her about it. Carlos is a prankster, but not the weird kind. While we were eating and before I could show my mum the ring, he grabbed her hand and said, "I'm sorry, Mrs. My Mum, I impregnated your daughter." And my mum burst out laughing. And then she looked at me and said, "Either you're about to get rich or you grew a new uterus." I laughed too and said I hoped not, because I'd talked to half the doctors in the country and their grandma's first time. Carlos stared at me and said, "What do you mean?" My mum said, "The hysterectomy, of course." Carlos said he never heard about it. My mum laughed again and asked how he did not know. I said, I guess I never brought it up because I don't think about it anymore. We were quiet for a second, and then I showed my mum the ring, and we celebrated. After she left, Carlos confronted me, and he asked me why I never told him about the surgery. I told him I had told him the important part, which was that I was sterile. He said the issue was the principle, and if I could keep something so big to myself for years, what else could I hide? I feel like that's unfair for me, as I shared the relevant part in the moment, and later I just didn't think about it. I wasn't trying to keep secrets, I simply didn't think the medical details were relevant once we already agreed on being child-free. So now we want outside opinions. Am I the asshole for not telling him about the hysterectomy, or is he overreacting? He has read this post and approved it, so this is not only my point of view. In the comments, Strong Prompt says, "He had 0 questions about your total lack of menstrual periods?" Carlos sounds like one of those manly men that needs an heir. He was hoping to get you implanted IVF later on. Yeah, she had said that she was child-free many times, very much straightforwardly expressed her wishes. It sounds like Carlos thought that he'd either be able to A, baby trap her, or B, hoped to manipulate her into negging on her own boundaries. Whatever the reason, he didn't care that OP said no to having kids, regardless of what procedure was had. OP says he's a prankster but not in a weird way, but then he goes on to say a fake pregnancy joke? That alone, I was like, Jesus. Yeah, like what's the joke? Remember those traumatic few years OP had? Well, they're invalid and irrelevant because I raw-dogged her. Like, where's the joke? If someone loses an arm, does he tell their mum, like, they now have 2 arms again? Where's the prank? It seems OP is the joke, and signing up for a lifetime of being seen as a joke and not a person. Not the arsehole here. You told him that you were sterile up front. If he didn't ask why, then why would you have felt the need to bring it up? Have you both discussed every single medical thing that happened in your lives? Most likely not. You didn't hide anything. You just simply moved on from the early conversation and never thought about it again. Edit to add, you didn't keep the big issue secret. The big issue is your sterility. How you got there is irrelevant. If he'd asked when you mentioned it, you would most likely have told him. His fault for no follow-up question when it was brought up. Back up to the post, there's an edit. I came back and there were so many responses. I'll make a quick edit to clarify some things. How did you forget to tell him this? Well, It was a very traumatic experience, and everyone and their mother looked at my vagina. Uterus, actually. I felt embarrassed for a long time and pushed the experience deep enough until I forgot about it. Why didn't you tell him? Well, at first, because I wasn't about to trauma dump on a dude that I'd known for 2 hours, and I'm just a very quiet person. In our first date, I said maybe 50 words. I'm more talkative now, at least with him, but I like my privacy and to keep things that feel deeply personal just to myself unless it's relevant to something. Edit 2. Hey, now that we've had time to read some of the responses together, we want to clarify some other things. Carlos, did you know the difference between sterile and infertile? He says, apparently not. I thought that it was the same, both meaning not able to have babies. How did he not notice that she didn't have a period? Well, to be fair, we haven't been living together for that long. 5 months. And he thought that I had PCOS, like his sister. Are you really child-free? Or did you think that you'll change her mind after the wedding? He says, no, I am child-free and was even thinking about getting a vasectomy just to be even more safe. How didn't he notice any scars or hormone therapy? Well, I don't have any scars, and the procedure was done vaginally, so the scarring is on the inside. I don't need hormones, at least not yet. I still have my ovaries, and they're healthy at the moment. And for those people saying that I should have just told him in case of an emergency, you're right, and I honestly never thought about that part. We will update once we've had our session with a couples counselor, because I feel like there are things that are better to discuss with a professional. No, I don't think you're the asshole here for not telling your fiancé why you were sterile. And seeing these edits, it's easy to see why Reddit has such a reputation for jumping to the worst conclusion possible sometimes. Oh my god. He makes it really stupid, and I would say inhuman. Like, I've never seen someone make a joke like this. It kind of feels like an alien came to Earth and was like, haha, this is a heckin' funny joke, guys. I have a surprise, OP's mum. She's pregnant. Ah ha ha ha. Just kidding. We're getting married. Like, what? What? Just why? I don't understand it. It's just a really odd thing. And then, I don't know, maybe from that people are just like, he's a controlling, manipulative piece of shit. Oh, he's trying to lock her down with some IVF. He actually wants babies. This is the long con. Yes, a lot of the time that's the case, but we really didn't have enough information to surmise that here. And I know, I always say shit like, well, people only come to Reddit when it is literally the worst thing possible going on, and we have pattern recognition, and there are patterns with these things. Yes, absolutely. But in this one, I just don't think there was even enough details to be like, he is abusing you, OP. Like, to me, there were no red flags from him, just him being weird. And now, onto the update. So we had our session yesterday, and I think I'm ready to post an update and clarify some things. We decided to write it from my point of view because we tried doing it from both of ours, and it was confusing to understand. First of all, for the people who said that since I still have my ovaries, we can still have kids, what is wrong with y'all? That's not how child-free people work. We don't want children, period. For the people asking why I don't have any scars, I don't know what to tell you. It's not something that I want to discuss with anyone, but they made an incision in my belly button. We decided not to talk much about any of this until we were with the therapist, and some things came to light. The first thing Carlos did was apologize and explain why he was so upset. He said he wasn't really mad at me for not telling him, but he was hurt because it felt like for a long time he had to force information out of me. When I finally started sharing things willingly, he was excited and thought that we were on the same page about everything, but when he found out about the surgery, he felt insecure and like an outsider because it felt like it was always my mum and me, and then him. He also said he felt embarrassed and dumb because he assumed what sterile meant and ran with it instead of asking for an explanation. He said that it was more insecurity than anything, and he apologized again for how he handled his feelings instead of communicating with me. He also apologized for the pregnancy joke and said that he was anxious because he really likes and respects my mum. but he wasn't sure if she accepts him, and in a moment of nervousness, he tried to lighten the mood with a joke that failed horribly. For my part, I also apologized for not sharing this with him and for being so cold and distant sometimes. I told him I love him so much, and I really want to spend the rest of my life with him, and I reassured him that I will always tell him things about me, even if they don't seem very exciting or important. After our session, we went home and shared every single stupid thing about each other so that there are no more secrets. I knew almost all of them because Carlos is Mr. Oversharer. But I found out that he broke his little toe when he was 7, and he was surprised that I still have all 4 of my wisdom teeth intact. We decided to postpone the wedding planning until the holiday season is over and just enjoy everything and then start over in January. I called my mum, and she's coming over for dinner on Sunday so that we can redo the whole engagement announcement. I know a lot of people told me I wasn't in the wrong and that I didn't owe him any explanation. I think some privacy is always necessary in any relationship, but I want to feel close to him too. And it's not like I was really hiding things on purpose, so I don't mind sharing if it makes him feel the love that I have for him. I think that's all. We really appreciate all the input and the different perspectives that we got here. We will continue with couples counseling for as long as it takes. Happy holidays to y'all. In the comments, a relationship saved by honest communication? I think Reddit must be broken. OP says, they did tell me to break up though, lol. National Pension says, I hope it works out, but after reading your first post, it was a major dick move for Carlos to joke with your mom about getting you pregnant. He doesn't know how she feels about the fact that she'll never get to be a grandmother. I didn't read closely, but I hope to hell he apologized profusely and rethinks this whole prankster thing. It's not a good look. OP says, I understand your point, but he didn't mean to cause any harm. People make mistakes, and I'm pretty sure my mom is over not having grandkids because I've been child-free since I was like 15. I love an anticlimactic update. Look at them, happy and healthy, and no one dying, no one getting punched in the face. There was no Waffle House egg disaster that happened with this one. Much to my chagrin, the world is at peace. And look, I get where that commenter is coming from, thinking about her mother's reaction to this, and him not knowing how she feels about not having grandkids in the future. But that's just overthinking, surely. Like if we take every possible scenario that could result from this, we could say, well, he didn't take into account how OP feels about how his mum feels about never having grandkids. Well, we didn't take into account how OP feels about him making this stupid joke, and so he never should have made that stupid joke in the first place because he didn't know how OP was going to really react to it. For me, that's just food for thought. A lot of the times the comments do have insightful little nuggets of things that I've never really thought about before, but others I'm just like, Jesus Christ, just don't bring these things up because that is irrelevant. But hey, thank you for the story, OP, and thank you for the update. Our next post is by user Apologetic Apple, and it's titled, I, 27 male, was shown a screen recording of my girlfriend's, 33 female, Tinder profile. Background info, I suppose. My girlfriend and I have been dating for over 2 years, and we've been living together for a year and a half. I work in the ER and on the ambulance, so I work long 12-hour shifts, days, and sometimes nights. I clocked out of my shift at the hospital earlier today and was walking out when a couple of my nurse friends asked me to wait for them so that we could walk out together. I didn't think much of it as the 3 of us are super close due to trauma bond and working together for about 2 years now. And as we got outside and into the parking lot, my friend, who we will call Anna, said, Hey, I need to show you something, and I'm sorry that I'm the one showing you. Anna pulls up her phone and says, Alyssa was swiping on Tinder and came across this profile. She turns her phone and shows me a screen recording that Alyssa took of her Tinder and the profile. Sure as shit, it's my girlfriend. The only thing is that all the photos are old. Like, I'm positive that these are old photos because they're all the photos that I came across on her Facebook after we became friends at a previous job that we both worked at. Obviously, regardless of the age of the photos, seeing my girlfriend's Tinder profile popping up on my friend's phone was quite a shock. They both apologized profusely again, told me they loved me, and that I could call them tonight to talk, if need be, since we're all off tomorrow. I told Anna to send me the video, gave them a hug, and left. On the way home, I was talking to Gemini about Tinder profiles and how long they stay active after the app is uninstalled, or whatever the case. From what I can find online, it seems odd that her profile would be active after over 2 years. I'm home now, my girlfriend noticed something was up with me, but I told her that we would talk about it later, after her class and after her son, 10 male, had gone to bed. I just want to know, how should I approach this? Thanks in advance. In the comments, Cat with Thumbs says, "Yo, if someone's Tinder account is showing up, they've been active in recent months. If they're inactive, it doesn't show the profile after a certain amount of time. If you've been dating for 2 years, then, I have bad news for you. Unless it's someone using her photos and name. First things first, remain calm. I would sit her down and tell her that something's been brought to your attention that concerns you because of your relationship values. Then I would show her the screen recording and ask her if you guys are okay, and then let her explain herself. Depending on her answers, you may need time to process things." OP says, "I'm pretty calm considering the circumstances. Unfortunately, I'm known for my happy, goofy personality, so people always know when something is wrong. I was going to tell her that I have zero doubts about our relationship thus far, but that I was shown a video of something that concerns me. I was going to show her the video and then ask her if we could pull up her phone/download Tinder so I can see if there's some new messages or anything like that." Kind Problem asks, "Do you think anyone's catfishing or scamming with her information?" OP says, "I don't think so, as her Spotify is connected to the account and the account is photo verified." Yeah, if it's photo verified, she's 100% active recently if she's appearing to other people after you've been dating for 2 years. To me, this is a case of the most obvious reason is the most likely reason here. And I would be more than happy for you to snoop through her phone to get answers for this one, OP. I know people are not cool with snooping through their significant other's phones, but this is an admissible situation. If you need to figure out the truth before she can go delete the account and delete all evidence of the account's existence and just deny, I think you should do that. And then, once you get your answer, go from there. What I think is happening is that she is cheating on you, as does happen. And from there, you break up with her and you find someone else that won't cheat on you. Simple as. People get cheated on all the time, Cheaters waste your time. That's just life, unfortunately. You can't really predict these things and you can't really get ahead of it. You just take the hits as they come. Protect yourself, OP. And now, onto the update. So I know a lot of you were wanting an update, so here we are. I will also add background information and clarification as I wrote this whilst my head was spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. 1. Her child is 10 years old. I can see how the 10M could be confusing. 2. Yes, my girlfriend is bisexual. Yes, so is Alyssa, who originally found her profile. I imagine Alyssa sent the screen recording to Anna because either she felt Anna and I were closer, or because Alyssa wasn't at work, but Anna and I were. I'm not sure, but didn't ask. But to the other ones who suspect that they're just trying to break us up for no reason or out of jealousy, that ain't it. Okay, so after my girlfriend was done with her online class, and after her son was in bed, we both sat down on the couch to talk. It took me a few seconds to get the words out of my own mouth, but I told her that I was shown a video of her Tinder account, to which she replied, "Who showed you?" And that pretty much answered all my questions, and my head started to spin even faster. I told her that I wasn't sure why that was even relevant right now, but she insisted, so I told her that Anna showed it to me. She has also met Anna and knows that Anna is straight, 6 months pregnant, and married. I told her that Alyssa had sent it to her and she showed it to me. Again questioning why this was relevant. I again asked her if she was on Tinder. She replied yes. She admitted to downloading it a week ago and attempting to match with women for flirtatious conversations and attention. She did show me the messages, and I confirmed that they were all with women and that they were all just flirtatious conversations. She assured me that she had no intentions further than flirtatious conversations, and I believe that, as she is 30 pounds heavier now and rocking a pixie cut, but still using photos from 3+ years ago. She said she just downloaded the app and logged right back in and didn't edit anything about her profile from before. She also got very defensive. She brought up an argument from the past, trying to deflect and somehow make me look like the arsehole here. I called her out on it, but was also trying to keep my cool in between still trying to come to terms that this was really happening. This last year hasn't been easy for us. Between health issues, job issues, cost of living going up, and getting laid off work issues, it's been rough. She said she's felt like something has been missing between us lately, that she's been so lost that she doesn't know what she's doing. She sobbed and told me that she made a really stupid mistake, to which I agreed. I told her how stupid I felt because when I was shown the video by my friends, I almost just laughed it off because it was so out of left field and the photos were old and shit. I told myself, there's no way. I don't know what to do. As I said previously, we've lived together for 2 years. I contribute my income to the home mortgage and all other monthly bills. She co-signed on the car that I bought because I started developing credit late and had shit credit. We have the same phone plan. We're on the same car insurance. So much of my life is wrapped up in the relationship. I don't know where to begin unraveling it. I don't know where to go. Currently, I'm thinking of sticking it out here until I can build up my credit and hopefully my savings. I just got laid off at one job, so I'm working part-time in the ER until I start my new job December 1st. I'm honestly just so lost myself. I know I should leave, but I care about her. I'm scared to put her and her son in a bad spot. After the year that she's had, I don't know what she would do. She doesn't have a support system behind her. She has me. In the comments, this would be immediate breakup territory for me. These are issues that she should have brought up to you for conversation as opposed to seeking outside validation. She's putting herself before the relationship. Her need for attention will continue to grow. Eventually, harmless flirting won't be enough, so she will take it a step further. She's in a committed, monogamous relationship. The only person she should be seeking attention from is you. Get your job and financial ducks in a row and leave her in the dust. Work in silence and have a plan and be ready to leave once everything is situated. You may need to call your loan company and get her name off your car lease and ask how this would impact that. Honestly, the best he can do. Tell her that you're taking a step back and plan the exit. She's gonna know pretty much immediately that you are done, but I would also look into tenants' rights and filing a report in advance with the police if you think that she's spiteful. Yeah, this is the end of the relationship, OP. That is emotional infidelity right there. I don't care what her excuse is, and I'm always so disgusted and sad that it's the people who are the most vulnerable in the relationship, like the one with the least amount of security under themselves, that if you leave, they are fucked. It's always them. Why are they the ones with the most to lose that always cheat? Obviously, I don't mean that in a literal sense. I'm just upset that people with the most to lose will do this to themselves. It's not always them. Obviously, the other partner, the one with a better financial situation, can and does cheat. It's just so sad and stupid and selfish that she would do this. She has a 10-year-old son that when OP leaves her and dumps her, he's going to be so much worse off for it. She put herself before her own child. She put herself before her own well-being. And for what? I don't know. Good luck to her, I say, but thank you for bringing your story to Reddit OP and getting some help with this one. I hope you get your ducks in a row sooner or later and leave her cheating ass, because it's only a matter of time before that becomes physical, and you don't deserve to be there when the shit hits the fan. Good luck and good riddance to bad trash. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. I do hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.